All right. So the first breath practice, you want to make sure your spine is straight. So I'm sitting on a block. It's helpful to sit on something, whether it's a block, a rolled up blanket, a chair, because what typically happens if we sit on the ground without this is we round the lower back. And one of the things about keeping the spine straight is this is where, in yoga, we call it the Sushumna. This is the energy center. And if you just think about if you were driving or kayaking, if you go straight, it's more efficient. If you have a round in it, it takes you longer. So find your seat and just roll your hips forward. I'm exaggerating the lower back. And then you're just going to tuck. So roll forward and tuck. Let's just do this a couple of times. Just a gentle warm up for the spine. And then find the place in the middle where you feel your natural arch, but you're not hyperextending. And then shoulders draw back. And imagine a string right at the top of your head that's drawing up towards the ceiling. So more lengthening in the spine. And then lift your shoulders up towards your ears, roll them back, and encourage the shoulder blades to draw towards each other. Right, so the first breath is Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breath. Now there's a hand mudra for this, where you take your ring finger and your thumb together, and then the middle finger and index finger rests between the eyebrows. Now, if this is uncomfortable, you can skip it. And then you take the ring finger on the right side of the nose, and the thumb is going to be on the left, but not at the same time because you won't be able to breathe. So we're going to alternate. So release the fingers from the nose and breathe in through both nostrils. Now block the right nostril and exhale through the left. Breathe in through the left. Block the left and exhale through the right. Breathe in right. Block right, exhale left. And repeat this. And if my pace is too slow, and you find yourself desiring to exhale through the mouth, then you can breathe in a little bit quicker. You can transition to the exhale a little bit quicker. You can close your eyes. You can notice any differences in the two sides, left and right. For most people, one side, when you start doing this, may be a little more open than the other. And as we practice this, you may find that encouraging the breath singularly through each side helps to open it up. And you'll finish it off with an exhale through the left side. No hurry to get there. Once you finish, just let your hands rest on your thighs. So I want to check in. Was everyone able to exhale through the nose?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So now we're going to do the belly rib breath that we do quite a bit. And you may want to have one hand on the belly, one hand on the ribs. And we're going to focus first on breathing into the belly and let the belly inflate that bottom hand. And then exhale through the nose and draw the belly back. Let's just do this a couple of times. Breathe into the belly and exhale. Let's breathe in for 2. Exhale for 2. Breathe in 2. Exhale, 4. Breathe in 2. Exhale, 4. One more time, breathe in 2. Exhale, 4. Right, now we're going to move the breath up to the ribs. So breathe in belly for 2, ribs for 2. Exhale for 4. Just one more time. Breathe in belly for 2, ribs for 2. Exhale for 4. Last one, choose a count that works for you. And then release the hands. All right, how was that? Was everyone able to breathe out through the nose? Okay. All right, so let's come onto our mats. We'll start off, have one block at the head of your mat. Have another block on the left side of your mat. Have one ball ready, so out of the tote and just next to that block. So we're not going to use the blocks or the balls yet. Have either your rolled up blanket or the ball. This is going to go right at the base of the shoulder blades. So I'll demonstrate. I'm going to demonstrate with the towel. So the towel's right under my shoulder blades. My shoulders are above it, and the arms come out to the sides. So just give me a little holler if you're having trouble. And I would start with the knees bent so that what happens when we're not warmed up yet, when we extend our legs long, the psoas, which is in front of the hips, can be tight. And then that can pull the lower back off the floor. So we're just going to start with the knees bent till we can ease the psoas into releasing that tendency to be short and tight. And this is where just notice if you need to adjust the air in the ball. Maybe you need to adjust the size of the rolled up blanket. Maybe you need to slide something underneath your head, like another blanket or something. If you feel your chin is poking up towards the ceiling, you could first just try lengthening the back of your neck and see if that feels better without an extra prop. Now, as you breathe in, let the belly inflate, and then the ribs. And then exhale through the mouth. So if that count of 4 works for you, then we're going to stick with that. So you breathe in belly for 2, ribs for 2, exhale for 4. And repeat that on your own, finding a count that works for you. Now, when we exhale through the nose, that's activating the parasympathetic nervous system. It's a little bit more calming. Diane, do you have a question?
No, I'm looking for Bluetooth.
Oh, okay. Now, one of the nice things about having a prop underneath the shoulder blades is in Ayurveda, we have the different doshas or elements. Spring is the element of earth and water, which outside you probably can see that. And that can cause heaviness. It can cause stagnation, inertia. When we open up the chest, back bends can help to balance that. So in Ayurveda, like increases like, and opposites help to balance it. So doing this supported back bend, we're working towards just offering a balance to perhaps excess earth element. And just a couple more breaths here. And now you're going to roll to your left side. Keep the prop here, and you're going to use your block as a pillow. So you may need to shimmy down just a little bit so the prop is under your armpit. So this area can get very tight. I have my bottom arm extended and my right hand is, just resting on my thigh. And my knees are bent. And we're just going to do a gentle rock here. Just rocking forward and back. Allowing the prop to massage out. I think this is the teres minor, again, which can get really tight. Really important to breathe. Exhale through the nose is going to help to relax those muscles. It sends a message to your body, relax and let go. All right, so I notice many of you are facing away from me. So this is where your sort of auditory skills are going to be shifted into high gear. You're going to take that top hand to the right hand. You're going to stretch it along the bottom hand, like you're stretching forward. And then you slide it back and you open to a gentle twist. The knees stay stacked. So if you see the top knee slide back, you've gone too far. So again, we've done something like this before. And again, you're allowing that prop, whether it's a ball or a blanket, to massage out this area, which again can get really tight, especially if you're raking or doing a lot of lifting. And then next time you're in neutral, so you're not rolling back, you're not rolling forward, we're just going to pause and then roll to the other side. So now you'll be facing me. You'll roll to the right side. The right arm extends long. You have your knees stacked. And you start off just doing some gentle rolls forward and back, allowing that prop to massage out those muscles that surround the shoulder blade. And I should have mentioned before, you can stay here, or you can add that slide of the arm and then a larger twist. But the knees stay stacked. And so you think about that left knee, the top knee, and the left arm, they're stretching in opposing positions. And then you just pause in your neutral spine. We're going to roll onto our backs, and you can remove the block. And now this is much easier if you have the ball, because you're just going to roll your body up so that the ball comes to the lower back. So if you've got the blanket, you've got to do some shimmy, shimmy, shimmies with the body to get the the ball or the rolled up blanket, it's in the arch of the lower back. Now take a few breaths here. As you exhale, invite the muscles of the lower back to relax into the blanket. Now here you can extend the legs. Just see how that feels. Then take a few breaths. And then we'll do that belly rib breath again. Belly for 2. Ribs for 2. Exhale through the nose for 4. Just repeat that 2 more times. All right. Now rebend the knees. You're going to roll to your right side. Let your left, and this is where you may want to use your block for a little bit. Let your left knee come across the body and straighten the bottom leg. And again, just a gentle roll here. You're rolling out probably the quadratus lumborum here that's just above the hip. Just a couple of rolls. And then we're going to transition. You're going to want to get rid of the block to belly down. And I'll just sit up for a moment and show you. You want your prop right in front of the hip. This is the psoas muscle. So either the ball or the blanket is going to go, your left knee is in sort of a half frog, and then the blanket is again right on the front of the hip. So some of you have done this with me before. I want to get the best angle for you. Yeah, I think this is it. See, yeah. And if you can, you let your forehead come to the mat. If not, you could use a block. Once you're here, breathe into the belly. And then exhale, release the belly, release the hip, just surrender the front of your body into the floor and into that prop. And we're just going to repeat this. So you breathe into the belly and then exhale, get heavy. Just a couple more breaths. All right, last round. After you exhale, just pause. And extend the left leg long. So now both legs are long. You're in sort of a Shalabhasana setup position. Press into the left leg. So press into the top of the foot. Press into the hip bone. And then float the right leg up. And you're looking to feel this all along the back of the leg, the hamstrings, and also the glute. If you feel any discomfort in the lower back, lower it down a little bit more. On your exhale, release it down. Let your knees bend and just slowly windshield wiper the leg side to side. All right, now we're going to roll onto the other side. I think we're rolling onto the left side and the right I twisted around, so I might have the sides off. I'm gonna defer to you all for this. You're on your side, top leg is crossed over, and we just warm up by doing a little rolling side to side. This is the quadratus lumborum that's travels along the side of the lower back. And then when you're ready, you're gonna roll belly down. And you've got your prop. Right on the front of this hip here. On the left side. And if it's comfortable, you have your hands stacked and your foreheads on the back of your hands. You breathe into the belly. And then exhale through the nose, let the body get heavy. Repeat that and choose a count that works for you. Choose a count where you can leisurely exhale through your nose. You don't feel like you have to hurry and let the air out. And then after your next exhale, you're going to extend the right leg long. So both legs are long, they're extended like Shalabhasana. Press into the right leg, the top of the foot, the thigh, and then extend the left leg up and back. And just notice where you feel the muscle engagement along the legs. You want to feel it for the hamstring, but also the glutes, not the lower back. Exhale, release down. Bend your knees and then windshield wiper the leg side to side. Nice. All right. Let's make your way up to seated slowly. And you can remove your prop. I just want to check in, see how everybody's doing. All right. So we're going to do one more thing on our back, articulating the spine. So one of the things that I found is if you're just feeling sort of achy and stiff, undulating the spine can be a nice sort of gentle way to just get things moving. Now, when you do cat and cow, I'm just going to demonstrate, we're not doing this, but you round the spine, you drop the head, and then you arch the spine and you arch the head. We're going to do something a little bit different on the back, and this will work your brain. I'll demonstrate it. So you're on your back, and I have to pause and think when I'm doing this. You're going to arch your spine. So you roll your hips forward and you're going to drop your chin. And then you're going to flatten your spine and lift your chin up. So that's the opposite of cat and cow. So you arch and drop, you flatten and lift. So you can assume the position. And it's easier to do on the ground because you get that feedback. We're going to be transitioning to trying to do this standing. So I'll cue you. You're going to arch the back, drop the chin. Flatten the back and lift the chin. Arch the back, drop the chin. Flatten the back, lift the chin. Now just continue this at your own pace. And if you sort of fall out of rhythm here, just stop and restart. and then come to neutral. All right, let's come up to seated. And then we'll come to standing. How was that for everyone? Did you feel your brain working, or is it just me that has to work so hard with that?
Yeah, I felt it.
Okay, awesome. All right, so let's come to standing. And let me know if my voice trails off, if you have trouble with the sound as I move a little bit further away. Have your block set up at the front of your space. And let's start off with one of the balls. And we're just going to do a quick little warm up with the ball under the feet. And I think, Cindy, for you, if you're doing some walking, this might be good to just do for 30 seconds before you walk.
Uh-huh.
We're going to start. See, I'll slide in a little bit more. The ball of the foot is here, and I'm just pressing like I'm pressing on the gas and then lifting up. I'm pressing and I'm lifting up. So this should be sort of encouraging mobility in all of those toe muscles. Pressing, you might feel them spread apart, and then release. And you may want to have your hand on a chair or something if you find this is a little challenging for your balance. Now we're going to move to the front of the heel. So the ball of my foot's on the ground. The ball, the therapy ball, is right in front of the heel at the arch. So here I'm going to press my heel in and then lift it up. Press and lift. This spot right here is where all the fascia on the bottom of the foot connects. And we've played around with this before, noticing that when we roll out our feet, our hamstring loosens. So that's why I'm suggesting that this might be a good thing before a walk. And then we're going to just let the ball roll along the pinky side. And this can be a little tricky to navigate here. These balls, I think, are a little bit big. And then the big toe side, just roll it. And then just a couple of rolls, of freestyle rolls. Just kind of, I like to just do a little like, and then step off the ball and just notice. You may find that the foot you just rolled has a little more color. You can see the circulation in it. Just notice if you feel it maybe in the leg too. And then we'll do the other side. So press the ball of the foot in and lift. Press and lift. So the heel stays anchored into the ground. That's how you're getting your balance. And now move the ball to the front of the heel. And you press the heel and you lift. You press and lift. And then you're going to roll the pinky side out. Actually, this is probably better if you're on a mat, not so rolly. And then the big toe side. And then a little freestyling here. And a little shimmy, shimmy. Just getting the blood, the circulation, kind of freeing up the fascia. It gets sticky when we don't move it. And then release that. And take a look. Did you get more color in that foot? All right, now we're ready. So you're on your mat, blocks are to the front. Let's lift all 10 toes up. And then just drop the pinky toes. So they stretch the feet. And then relax the toes. On your inhale, reach the arms up, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Now, some of you may want to put your hands on your hips, especially if your lower back's a little cranky. Otherwise, press into the heels, activate the legs. Can you use your glutes to come up straight? So be very mindful. This is a lot on the lower back. So make sure that when you're doing that, you don't feel any discomfort in the lower back. Let's do that a couple more times. About that. Inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Press into the heels. Can you feel your glutes engaging? Core is engaged, belly button draws back, and inhale, rise up. Gentle back bend. One last time. Inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Engage. Pressing into the heels, feel the back of the legs fire up. Belly button draws back to the spine. And inhale, you root to rise. Nice. Left leg steps back for warrior one. Straighten the front knee and then bend it. So here we have this psoas that we rolled out. Straighten the knee, straighten the front knee. As you bend the front knee, notice the stretch in the psoas. Now, can you extend the left arm up? Can you add the right arm also? And now we're going to flow in and out. Straighten the knee and lower the arm. Bend the knee, reach the arm up. And just repeat this with your breath. You breathe in through the nose. You breathe out through the nose. If you find yourself exhaling through your mouth, speed up the breath and the movement so that you don't feel such a rush to get the breath out. Pause next time you're in this pose. Step the back foot up to meet the front. Step the right leg back for your warrior one. Straighten the knee. As you bend the knee, notice the back hip. That's psoas muscle. And then can you extend the right arm up and notice what that does to the psoas? Can you add the left arm? And then you flow in and out. Now, if you want to challenge your balance, close your eyes. Breathe in through the nose. You breathe out through the nose. If you find yourself with too much breath and you need to exhale through your mouth, then move a little quicker so that you're not holding the inhale as long. So we want the breath rhythm to set the pace. So if the breath is too slow for you to exhale through your nose, then make it go, you can speed it up a little bit. Pause in your warrior one. Really press back through that right heel. Nice stretch along the calf. And then exhale, step. Let's add on. Inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. Pause here. Can you feel the stretch in the front of the hips as you gently arch back? Imagine you're arching over a huge boulder. So we're not crimping the lower back here. It's lengthening and extending. And then exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs. Engage the core. Feel your hips and your tailbone draw behind you. Feel the crown of the head draw in front of you. Imagine you're separating your heels. You're sort of pulling your heels apart. You may feel a broadening in the back of the hips and a hugging in the front of the hips. Press into the heels, hands on hips or not, and you rise up using core and glutes. Right leg steps back for warrior one. Arms rise up right away. We've already been here. Second round. Straighten the knee and lower the arm. Bend the knee, arm reaches up. Stay with this, or you take the torso forward. So exhale, knee bends, you come forward, and inhale, you rise. So the lower body stays the same. It's just the upper body that's moving. Core is engaged. Feel that right psoas stretch as you rise up. Nice. Next time you're folding forward, just pause here. Press into the right heel. Crown of the head reaching forward. Neck is relaxed. Your gaze is to the floor. And then inhale, you rise. Take your gentle back bend. Take it as I like to visualize maybe a 4-day-old baby stretching, or maybe a puppy or a dog. So make this luxurious, this back bend. So you're not trying to pose for the cover of Yoga Journal or something. You're just trying to get space. So make it delicious. And then exhale, step forward. Step the left leg back. Come right into your warrior one. And again, you can straighten the knee, lower the arm, bend the knee, raise the arm. That's what we did first round. Or instead, we do the upper body. Flowing forward and back. The knee stays bent. The lower body stays as it is. Activate the core so that you're not straining the lower back with this. You could also take your right hand on your hip if you want more support for the lower back. Next time you're forward, pause here. And think about lengthening the spine. So crown of the head reaches forward. Anchor through that left heel. And then inhale, you rise. Gentle back bend. Again, find a luscious stretch here. So this will probably look very different for each of you. And sometimes it takes a little fiddling to find your sweet spot. And when you're ready, release that event. All right, how's everybody doing?
Good.
All right, getting warm?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do another sequence. This will be warrior two based. Actually, we'll do one more warrior one based with the option of a warrior three. So for warrior three, if you find it challenging, to balance here on one leg, you could have a chair. You could also not lift the leg so high. So you could, keep the big toe on the ground. So those are a couple of options, before we get flowing that you could do. Inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Next inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. So Hips are sinking back. Weight is on the heels, so we're engaging the glutes. Again, imagine you're separating your heels. So it's like you're stretching them out between your heels. Look for a broadening in the hips so the tailbone can sink down a little bit more. Core is engaged. The front of the hips are hugging into each other. And then inhale, rise, gentle back bend. Take this opportunity to stretch the front of the hips. And then exhale, release the hands down. Left leg steps back for warrior one. Let's come in and out of this 3 times. It's going to just be nice to get the joints moving. Invite some fluidity. All right, next time you're in warrior one, we're going to pause. Option to transition to warrior 3. So let's take the hands to the hips. Begin to shift the weight to that front leg. I'm keeping the front leg bent for now. Find somewhere to look, somewhere on the ground that's not moving. And then begin to sort of flirt with putting all the weight on this front leg. You can do that without lifting the back leg up. And then if you like, float the back leg up, extend it out, and then straighten the standing leg. Exhale, release when you're ready. Nice. Let's rinse that out. Inhale, reach up, stretch, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into your legs, nice long spine. Keep the hands on the legs. Press the hands into the legs as you slide deeper into your forward fold. Inviting a stretch into the backs of the legs. Head is relaxed. Let the weight tip towards the balls of your feet. And notice how the muscles engage in the legs. And now let the weight come into the heels. And just play here. Noticing how where you have the weight on the feet fires up different muscles. And then find the place in the middle. Hands come to the hips. Press into the feet and rise up. Step the right leg back for warrior one. 3 times in and out. Again, this is just sort of a rinse. So we're going to mobilize the joints. After the 3rd round, pause. Hands come to the hips. Flex forward. Begin to put the weight on that front foot. And then you begin to shift forward. So now there's more weight on the ball of the foot. You can flirt with lifting that back leg up. And then maybe you straighten that standing leg. And then release to the front of your space. Very nice. All right, inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Step the left leg back for warrior 2. So nice long stance. Hips are facing towards the long end of the mat. And then begin to straighten the front knee and bend it. You can extend the arms out whenever you're ready. Pause next time the front knee is bent. Then you're going to take that right arm and you're going to reach up and back. That left hand is on the back of the left leg. Keep your right knee bent. Nice stretch for the liver here. And then inhale back through warrior two. Windmill the hands to the blocks. Float the back leg up. Pause here for a moment. Flex the foot and press through that foot. Without bending the knee, lower the left leg to meet the right. Inhale, rise, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Exhale, right leg steps back for warrior two. You straighten the front knee, and then you bend it. Add the arms when you're ready. One more time, and then you'll pause in your warrior two. Flip the front palm up and reach up and back. Oh, nice stretch to the left side of the body. Keeping that left knee bent. And then inhale, windmill back through warrior two. Hands come to the block, the back leg lifts. Level off your hips. The foot is flexed and press through the heel. Imagine you're standing on a wall. And without bending, you lower it down. Now rise, gentle back bend. Exhale, just release the arms down. Nice. All right, I want to just check, see how everybody is doing. Good. All right, so would you like another sequence, or do you want to come to the floor, maybe do some core or floor? You were ready to say another sequence, Nan, until I said core on the floor, huh? What are you guys thinking?
I think core.
Core on the floor. All right. So let's come to the floor. And knowing that we're not going to be relaxing right away, we've got some core to do. And let's see. You'll want to have a block within reach on the side of your mat. You'll want to have one of these balls. You'll want to have a strap. And then you'll want to have something to sort of lift up and draw toward. So I have this inflatable. You could use one of these little balls also. So just something to put in your hand for the core. It could be a block too. All right, let's come to our back. And now we talk about this a bit where you have the pelvic tilt. So I want to just review that before we get into the core, because it's important for sort of the protection of your lower back that you have the right sort of tilt in the pelvis. So roll the hips forward, so you have an arch in the back, and then flatten the spine. And just do that a couple of times. And what you may find is when you first do it, there's a lot of effort. So dial back the effort about 50%. Because you don't want to be like forcing the flat and then you squinch in your face. I'm not suggesting you're doing that, but we just want to dial back the effort. All right, and then the spine is going to be towards flattened. So again, you don't want it to be like pressing down too hard, but you don't want it to be arched. I know it's a little nuanced. Now float your feet off the floor. Notice what happens to the lower back. Can you flatten it? Now, can you begin to extend the legs up towards the ceiling and keep the lower back where it is? And just take a couple of breaths here. You're looking for maybe a little bit of shaking in the core as you do this. And then rebend the knees. You're here. So knees are at 90 degrees. Sorry, shins are 90 degrees from the thighs. Now, can you take your arms above your head and keep the lower back on the mat? Now again, the priority is lower back on the mat. So if when you take your arms overhead, the lower back comes up, then you don't have your arms overhead. And just take a couple of breaths here. So these are, working the stabilizing muscles. And now grab whatever you're going to put in your hand. Start with the left hand, and it's reaching straight up to this hip. And now draw the right knee and left hand towards each other as you extend the left leg long. And then you're going to switch. So this, I don't know if this is requiring brain work for you, but it is for me. And I think if it works to extend the opposite arm behind your head, try that. Obviously, it only works on one side for me. And again, notice the lower back. So keeping the lower back is what's sort of engaging and testing the muscles. And just one more round each side, and then come to the center. Now, you're going to take either a block or a ball between the knees. Your hands come to the floor, palms down. So your arms are a very helpful prop here. You can press into your hands as much as you need to as you begin to take the knees towards the left. So we're working the obliques. Pause. You don't touch the ground. Press the bottom leg into your ball or block. Lower the knees to the right. Pause. Press the bottom leg up. All right, so side to side here in rhythm with your breath. Now, core work is when we very frequently turn to exhaling to them through the mouth. So this is probably one of the biggest challenges, is to breathe through the nose when you're doing core work. And then pause in the center. Lower the feet to the mat. Arms come down towards your side. Press into the feet, lift the hips up. Spin the thighs inward. So you have a bridge pose. And the ball or the block between the thighs is helping to activate that spinning in. So you broaden the lower back and you sort of spin the hip bones towards each other so you feel your core. Now lower down. Press into just the left foot and lift up. And lower down. Just the left foot. So the right foot stays on the ground, but you're only pressing into the left foot. The right foot is there as a prop if you need it. So you're feeling this in the left glute primarily. Next time the hips are lowered, pause here. Shift the weight to the right foot, and you lift up. And just repeat. Breathing in through the nose as you lift. Exhaling through the nose as you lower. It can be interesting to just notice if there's a difference in the two sides of the body. And then next time the hips are lowered, pause here. Float the feet up. Draw the knees in towards you. Give the knees a little hug and then make some circles. Just gonna roll out the lower back. It's the other direction. All right, so one more sort of active activity. You're gonna lower your feet to the mat. I would say a nice addition to this is to use a rolled up blanket under the lower back. We're gonna do that high inner thigh rollout, and having this, right on that quadratus lumborum can feel kind of nice. You'll use a block as a pillow, another block, and a ball. So I'll do the setup and then I'm gonna sit up and entertain any questions you have. So I'm starting on my left side. So this is similar to what we did when we started. The ball, I'm going to take, so the position of the block is like a little fig leaf right in the front. And I'm going to take the ball up as high as I can go here. So I think I'm going to go a little lower. But the ball's going right on the inner thigh. And I'm just going to roll. I'm going to go this way. Sorry, I'm kind of improvising here. I'm going to roll the hip forward and back. And I straighten the leg and roll back. So you could do this without the ball if this is bothering you. You're just rolling the hip forward and back. So I'm just going to sit up if anyone has any questions, and then I'll continue to demonstrate if that's helpful. Yeah. So you're just looking for that mobility in the hip. Because we talk about how we get stiff. So we do a little bit of movement here. And then the ball is just sort of an accoutrement. Just kind of rolling out the muscles of the inner thigh. And I would say the track is like on the inner seam of your pants. And then just finish that up, and we're going to roll to the other side. Then we're on the right side. There's your nice solid pillow. The left knee comes over. And the ball goes on the inner seam of the pants. And you're just rolling the hip forward. It's like you roll forward and then you change your mind and you roll it back. And then the ball is not covering a whole lot of distance, honestly. It's probably covering maybe 3 inches worth of territory here. And just finish that up. And remove your props. And come onto your back. Now let's just signal to our body that it's time for integration. So take a deep breath in. On your exhale, let the back of the body completely melt into the surface underneath. And I'm gonna invite you to have your knees still bent. Or almost, if you're ready for Shavasana, you go right into it. I'm just gonna do a gentle twist beforehand. Heel toeing your feet to the edge of the mat, the knees follow. And then just let the knees drop side to side. So again, this is a nice stretch for the front of the hips. You can let your head go in the opposite direction of the knees. Again, this can be nice and relaxing for the spine. Breathing out through the nose. Feel free to linger on one side for a few breaths. Inviting that top hip to find length. Inviting holding patterns to leave the body on your exhale. And if you did a hold, slowly transition to the other side. Maybe even visualizing that top hip. Finding space. Finding softness. Letting go of holding patterns. When you're ready, just release out of that and melt into Shavasana. And if you find it helpful to use an anchor for your attention, the breath is a great one. Noticing the breath coming in through the nose and the temperature of the breath. Then notice the breath as it exits the nose. Does it feel a little warmer? Again, watch the breath coming in and out through the nose like a curious little toddler. Embracing fascination with the subtleties of sensations this breath creates in your body. If your mind starts to wander, just gently bring it back to observing the breath. Now allow your next breath to be a little longer and a little deeper. Light gentle movements, maybe wiggling your fingers or toes. Yeah, with curiosity, noticing, is there a difference between the left and the right hand and how the fingers wiggle? When you're ready, you can slowly make your way over to your side. And use this restorative, nurturing pose to offer yourself some gratitude. Prioritizing the nourishment of your body, your mind, your spirit. When you're ready, you can make your way up to seated. If you'd like to join me in a chant of Om, you take a deep breath in. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me.